NBA 2K25, you can have a little bit of fun, but it's sometimes they get irritating, getting pushed out of animations, getting bumped out of contacts. But today I'm going to end up giving you the best dunk packages you can use on a small build, a big build, a 6'10", even all the way for my 7-footers. There's a lot of great dunk packages and a good setup that you can use, no matter if you're using a 50 driving dunk all the way to a 99 driving dunk. There is something in here that you can end up using for your build. And since there's not that many dunking badges for NBA 2K25, these are the most 3 important badges that you're going to end up needing, especially if you're on a bigger build, a smaller build, you want those contact dunks or be able to finish on defenders. You're going to want that posterizer. Even if you want it on bronze, if you're a 7-footer, you're going to want it at least on gold if you're trying to get crazy contact dunks. Then we have Aerial Wizard. Now, if you want it to be real effective, you want it on Hall of Fame, but so you can have a higher chance of catching lobs and even contact lobs with this badge. But the badge becomes super effective around gold and Hall of Fame. And now for Rise Up, for my people that like to do standing dunks, the posterizer in the paint, Rise Up is one of those badges you want to have. Bare minimum silver. Silver is literally the sweet spot if you don't want to use too many attributes and end up doing something else. And you can max +1 it to gold. But you know, the higher you can have it for Rise Up, the better it gets. And if you're someone that wants to get those contact dunks, now I know a lot of you guys might want to end up changing your dunk meter. Some people like using dial. This is a very easy one to end up timing. I use arrow sometimes, but as of dial and ring, these are the top 2 actual dunk meters that a lot of people end up using. The time they skill meter dunks so they can end up getting those contact dunks. Now you will want to end up putting your meter size on large so you can have a better visual, be able to see the meter when it comes to dunking the ball. And later in the video, I'll give you a small tutorial how to trigger a meter dunk in NBA 2K25. But for the safe dunks in NBA 2K25, athletic hangs off 1 is my go-to. All you need is a 65 driving dunk with a 45 vertical. This is my quick drops off 1 when it comes to end up using these type of dunks. This is one of my favorite dunks in the game. You get a crazy Superman glide. Then you have hangs off 1. Hangs off 1 is somewhat similar to the quick drop. I like this as well because you don't end up getting blocked. You can get knocked out of this animations, but it's not that often. That's why I like using athletic hangs off 1 more than this one. Then you have the baseline reverse off 1. Now baseline reverse, I definitely recommend you to use this, especially the reverse clutch one off 2. Those are 2 good ones to end up having. Then you got athletic hangs off 2. Now athletic hangs off 2, I don't know what it is, but it makes you levitate in the air. But it is a possible way that you can get pulled out this animations, but it's not too likely. It's just based on how head up the person is in front of you. Before dunk I use that's very safe to me, but I usually don't get blocked. This is literally the Derrick Rose dunk to me. The quick drop back scratcher off 2. This could be a little bit risky for some of you guys, but usually when I use, I don't really end up getting blocked when I put this dunk package on. And you're gonna notice most of these dunk packages I'm showing you are in the low 50s to 65s to 75s. Most of the dunk packages right now are gonna be under an 80 driving dunk. Like this athletic 1 hand off 1. This is similar to the Klay Thompson dunk package. I prefer you to use Klay Thompson off the athletic hand off 1. Klay Thompson is more consistent. It gets a better animation and it's way smoother going to the hole. I just noticed when I use athletic 1 hand off 1, I end up getting knocked out the air more than I use Klay Thompson. So I'm rocking out with the Klay Thompson with a 55 driving dunk. Then if you got a low driving dunk, you got 50, use Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili, I know a lot of people must say CJ McCollum, but Manu Ginobili get a better animation. He gets up to the rim and it's very consistent, just like the Malik Monk dunk package. Now Malik Monk is an 80 driving dunk, maybe one of the best 80 driving dunks in the game that you can use this year. I can say it's a little bit better than Devin Booker and James Harden, but Malik Monk is maybe the best dunk package in NBA 2K25 for a small guard for that decent amount of value. But now if you like to do a lot of flashy dunks, you got the cradle dunks. Cradle dunks is cool, just know it could get blocked, but how this game is, you might end up getting grabbed out the air doing a cradle dunk animation, or you might end up getting a glitchy animation. Now when we get to the other dunk packages like the windmills, it can end up possibly getting blocked, or also you get grabbed out the air, but that's the risk you take when you put this flashy dunk on, which if you do equip with other dunk packages, it will overpower all the other dunk packages, especially if you do right stick down or even meter dunk. But then we got Switcheroo, which is a dunk package that's somewhat underrated when it comes to doing the dunk because it's off reaction. It usually do the animation based off the placement of the defender, and it usually ends up giving you somewhat the best outcome for you not getting blocked. Then you have Uber Athletic Tomahawk off 1. Now this one, I can definitely say it is hard to end up getting contact dunks when I use it. When I use it on my Brown build, my Ja build, my Anthony Edwards build, I usually do not get my contact dunks animations that I usually get. But out of the time of me using it, I never really got like grabbed grabbed out the air as much as I do for other dunks, but this one is definitely a good value one to use, especially if you got a 90+ driving dunk. Then you got athletic front tomahawks. Now this is off too. Now this one right here, you could possibly end up getting caught at the rim because you in the air for a long time. I'm gonna be honest, you're in the air for a long time in certain dunk packages. It's just based on what animation you get. But for my guys that like to do park dunks, y'all be in a park having fun with these park dunks, I'm gonna give y'all some of the best park dunks you can use in NBA 2K25, especially if you're someone that only got a 70 driving dunk and you want to get some decent packages. I definitely recommend using flashy off one. This is one of my favorites. How NBA 2K25 is, you can end up getting bumped out this animation. NBA 2K24, this was maybe one of the hardest animations to stop. Then you got under the legs off one. This is a little bit risky, but it is a fast animation. Most of the time, you do have 2 animations out of like the 7 of this dunk package that is slow, but most of the time you get the fast animation. Now, flashy hangs off one. This one is the more Spider-Man dunk. You're gonna end up getting a quick stiff dunk to the rim, but also you take off from a decent amount of space, but you do hang on the rim. Like if you end up missing, it's possible, you will end up being on the rim upside down looking like Spider-Man, and they'll be back on offense scoring the ball. So keep that in mind. And another one that some of y'all might like is the 360 off one, but usually I don't really mess with the 360. It takes too long. But for alley-oops and contact lobs in NBA 2K25, these are gonna be the best things that you're gonna end up having fun with on this game, especially if you can get the right angle, the right spacing on the court. I would prefer you to put almost every animation you want on, especially when it comes to regular alley-oops. I usually only do Elite and Zion, but hey, if you got Pro, put Pro on, because you don't know what situation you will be in a game that it'll end up getting that Pro animation. Now look, Pro, Elite, and Zion, put those on. Now when it comes to the city alley-oops, now this is where you have to really think about, because city alley-oops, you can get knocked out of animations in NBA 2K25. I noticed a lot of getting knocked out of animations so far. I have the best position, or I'm already up in the mid dunk and I just get pulled out the air. Now after testing all these park alley-oops, I usually put all of them on to end up getting contact lobs, but how it works this year is not that way. But I usually rock out with the reverse lobs, but also I rock out with the flashy lobs in NBA 2K25. But sometimes I end up throwing the 360 alley-oops on this game, but you can get knocked out the 360s as well. It's just not as much as the other ones, like the windmill, the between the legs, the Jordan Kilganins. Those are the ones I get knocked out the most. And then you want to make sure you have all your contact alley-oops on. Make sure you got all your contact alley-oops on. If you someone that don't want the park dunks on, just take the park dunks off. But when it comes to contact alley-oops, put all of them on. Pro, Elite, small if you got them, and big contacts if you got them. No matter what build you on, if you are available to get those contact dunk animations, put them on, because the situation you in, you don't know if you're gonna get an off one dunk or an off two dunk based on your dunk setup. So if you like to put all off one dunks on, you're gonna mostly have all off one contact animation. And it goes the same way when it comes to doing off two dunks. Now for my contact dunks, for regular contact dunks, you want to equip everything. I'm gonna tell you this now: Pro contact dunks off 1 and 2, Elite contact dunks off 1 and 2, and if you can get small contact dunks, put those on. But you want to aim for Elite contact dunks off 2. But I'm gonna be honest, you still will end up getting knocked out there. I tried 96 driving dunk, I tried 99 driving dunk in this game. Having Elite contact dunks off 2 and off 1, you're still gonna end up getting knocked out of animation. So don't feel no type of way when you end up doing that on a 99 driving dunk and you get knocked out the air. This just happens to most of us on NBA 2K25, as that's how the game is actually supposed to be programmed. And I notice a lot of you guys still dunk with the actual button. Now when it comes to actually meter dunking and using a right stick, a lot of you guys are asking, how do you meter dunks? It's not working for me. Now you gotta also make sure your pro stick is on default, but all you do is go into the hole, flick your right stick up and hold your right stick down and time it and release it right before the circle disappears, or right when the arrows actually is about to connect. So as you run into the rim, you're gonna flick your right stick up, hold your right stick down, let it go right before you see it disappear. And if you need more help about doing meter dunks, I got a whole video on this, so make sure you check out this video on the screen, how to end up dunking in NBA 2K25. I can teach you how to Euro step dunk, spin dunk, right stick control dunk, meter dunk, and even standing dunk. So right now, if you're on a big build, my 7-footers, anybody that got standing dunk, y'all know, put your standing dunk on. All your standing dunks, you could take off your regular standing dunk and only use athletic or even elite, and make sure you got all your contact dunks on, especially when pro and elite if you unlock those. But y'all know, when it comes to y'all big builds, y'all want to make sure that you have all those standing dunks equipped, because it's mostly situational, especially being in the paint. Now a lot of you guys might ask, how do you do a standing dunk? A standing dunk, all you gotta do is hold R2 with your right stick up, you get a standing dunk, as long as you're around the rim. But if you want a meter standing dunk, you need to be around that a restricted area, and you're gonna do the same thing you do as a driving dunk. Hold R2, flick your right stick up, then hold and release as soon as the circle disappears, or release right when the arrows are about to collide into each other. Now, if you want a deeper tutorial about meter standing dunk, it's also in how to dunk on NBA 2K25 video. But for the best dunk animations for signature athletes, we got Malik Monk. I told you, Malik Monk, if you got an 80 driving dunk, you gotta use Malik Monk, especially on a small guard. Malik Monk is mandatory. And the underrated one I end up using on a starter forward account is De'Aaron Fox. I didn't know that people was actually using the De'Aaron Fox dunk package, but I noticed he got some good animations when it comes to dunking on this game. Then we got the Ja Morant. Y'all know how I feel about Ja Morant dunk package. It's one of my go-tos. It helps me get contact dunks. It's one of the maybe best off-2 animations to get those consistent off-2 contact dunks. But when it comes to the actual off-1 contact dunks, you gotta have that Russell Westbrook, which is a 93 driving dunk with an 80 vertical. Now with this, it is similar to the straight arm tomahawk. A lot of you guys know straight arm tomahawk, you need 95 driving dunk with a 80 vertical. So I'm saving 2 attributes just to end up getting somewhat of a similar dunk package and get the same amount of contacts as I would end up getting no matter what. And you know what, to bring it back to safe dunk, Klay Thompson is safe dunk. You can use this even on big builds. I definitely recommend you can get Klay Thompson, use it, especially you got a low driving dunk. Even with a high driving dunk, it comes in handy in certain situations when it comes to using Klay Thompson. Then we got Devin Booker. One of my second favorite 80 driving dunk packages is Malik Monk, and then it's Devin Booker. Devin Booker dunk package has been good for the last few years as it being a dunk package, and I definitely recommend y'all to try this out. Now the next one is Manu Ginobili. For the low driving dunk builds like the 50 driving dunks, 55s, you got a decent amount of variety when it comes to finding dunk packages between the 60 and 50 range on NBA 2K25. Then you got the Scottie Pippen. Now if you like when he end up taking off, there's only like 2 good animations out of this, and it's when he do like somewhat like the CLOUT, but it's like a Statue of Liberty, like right there. He's gonna do a Statue of Liberty, put the ball in the air, and it's hard to block and it's hard to stop, but it also, you can still get knocked out this animation, but not as much as the other ones. Now you're gonna have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is maybe one of the best dunk packages to have, especially on a bigger build. A 75 standing dunk and a 73 driving dunk, and all you need is a 50 vertical to get this. I'm gonna tell you this now, if you can get this at 6'5" or even all the way to 6'10", I definitely recommend you to use this. Giannis dunk package is one of my favorite dunk packages to use. But then we got Draymond. Draymond is better for standing dunks. So if you like to do standing dunks, try to get standing contacts, Draymond is up there as maybe one of the best standing dunk animations to me. But if you want a standing dunk that's fast, you can use the Dwight Howard. The Dwight Howard standing dunk animations are fast, especially if you're right under the rim. It's just instant. And especially when it comes to getting contact animations, it's very easy to time, especially if you like fast-paced timing when it comes to timing your meter. Then we got Karl-Anthony Towns. It's a little bit flashy. He does take off in the air, and that will give defenders enough time to actually break you out the animation. So it's like a 50-50. This is one of those dunk packages that's a 50-50. You can end up getting a good animation, but you still can get knocked out the air. But that's what almost every dunk package in this game. Then we got James Harden, another 80 driving dunk, 83 driving dunk package, but I still wouldn't pick James Harden dunk package over Devin Booker and Malik Monk. Those are still the top 2 80 driving dunk packages you can use. And then if you got Jalen Johnson dunk package, use Jalen Johnson dunk package. It is very underrated. I'm telling you, it's one of those ones. It's just like the Giannis one, but it's crazy. And you do get a straight arm tomahawk with the Jalen Johnson dunk package. But now that I showed you that dunk package that you should use or even try out, there's some dunk packages that's 50-50s or you should stay away from in general. Because the dunk package can have a high possibility to get blocked, or it's a high chance that you get pulled out of animation. And it's LeBron James. It works here and there, but you can get blocked, or you can end up getting pulled out of animation with this LeBron James dunk package. The same thing with sidearm tomahawks. It's a good fast dunk, but it also gets pulled out the air a lot, especially even on my bigger builds. Even when I use it on like a 6'5", it still gets pulled out the air. Then you got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, he cocks the ball back behind his head. Now blocks is not really too broken on this game, but when it comes to this one, it is very scary to end up using at points, but it is one of those ones that can work very consistently based on your wingspan on your build. Then you got Glenn Robinson III. Don't use this. Do not put this on your build. Do not put this on your build. You're gonna get pulled out of animations. It's off 2 most of the time, and you get weird load ups when it comes to using this dunk package. The next one is gonna be Zion Williamson. Now Zion, he got a few good animations, but it's animations in here that just bad. There's bad. There's bad animations, there's slow animations, and you will get pulled out the air with this Zion Wilson dunk package unless you got a fast break. Then for a player that doesn't dunk that much or even dunk like that, Luka Doncic. Now, I prefer you use Klay Thompson over Luka Doncic. Now, I know you only need a 70 driving dunk, but there's no point in using Luka Doncic on this game because he got 2 animations that will get you blocked or also get you pulled out the air. Then you got Latrell Sprewell that ends up being a 2-foot dunker, but also the animations you get, you will get pulled out of animation or you won't even get your contact animation when you use it. Then Anthony Edwards. I like Anthony Edwards' dunk package, but it's at certain times it's a 50-50. I can get the good animation or I'm going to get pulled out the air when I use it. And for Paul George, I say stay away from it. Stay away from Paul George. I know he got the nice little 360s and all this, the woos and the whys, but I'm telling you this now. You will get bumped out of Paul George dunk animation a lot. That's one of the dunk animations I can say out of the years, you will still get knocked out the air or bumped out the air before you even take off the ground. But for my dunk packages I use on my big builds and in my small guards, I'm using quick drops, back scratchers off 2. We're using baseline reverses. Baseline reverses is always a must no matter what if you use reverse clutch. But also athletic hangs off 1 is a go-to. You can use it on big builds, you can use it on small builds. You can use this on every build on the game. As long as you got a 65 driving dunk, this is literally your go-to quick drop if you don't got the back scratchers on. Then we got the Malik Monk. I put this on here and there based on if I'm gonna end up having John Morant dunk package on because it will end up canceling out. But Klay Thompson, you got to put that in. But John Morant, I use John Morant most of the time, but it's times that I do take John Morant off because Russell Westbrook is just a good dunk. It's the best dunk out of most of the ones I use for my small guards if you have a high driving dunk. Then you got Giannis. For all those bigger builds, 75 standing, 73 driving dunk, you gotta put this on. It gets a good euro and everything, and you get crazy context. Then you got the Draymond for my standing dunks. Draymond Green is definitely a go-to. LeBron James. Now, LeBron James is a 50-50, but it's one of the best tomahawk animations you can use, especially on a bigger build, especially on the 6'9s all the way to like the 7-footers. That's literally the perfect sweet spot for that. But look, for all the animations I gave y'all boys, y'all gotta make sure y'all drop a like on this video. Share the video with y'all friends. Make sure y'all subscribe. Turn on notifications if y'all haven't yet. Hey man, it's 2 videos on the screen. Make sure y'all boys go check them out.